You can call this the New World Order of Wrestling, brother.
Break the wall, break down the walls. Andre, the Giant.
Who here? To be the man, you gotta beat the man. And I'm saying, woo!
You do not throw rocks at a man who's got a machine gun.
Give me a hell yeah.
And I got something to talk about.
I am going to be the first champion to win the Royal Rumble and choose the competitor of my choosing to main event.
So let's get funky like a monkey.
Hello, my name's Charlie, and you're listening to Ring the Bell Radio.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Ring the Bell Radio, a wrestling podcast. Welcome again here on this wonderful day of talking about wrestling podcasting. But we have the King over there, or is it Duke Logan? King Logan.
It's King, and you mind your business, young man.
That's right. Young man, I'm older than you. But
yeah, I know. That's why you look terrible and I look fabulous.
Oh, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. And then also, we have the wonderful Jenny Santana.
Hey.
How you doing, Jenny?
Good.
Who's on par with my looks. On par, you know. The two beautiful... We should just rename ourselves the Beautiful Duo or something like that, Jen.
Oh, my.
It's not wrong.
Our friend, the Rabbis, is not here. He actually had to go to hospital. He had something happen with him, Logan.
Yeah. What now?
He said he bumped his legs, and now his legs are swelling up to about 2 or 3 times. And I'm being serious, 2 or 3 times what they should be.
That is totally not what I was expecting you to say.
No.
What I was expecting you to say was, I had too many, and now I feel sick, and they have to stomach pump me or something.
Well, I told you, Logan, ever since he had the COVID that year, 18 months ago, he hasn't been right. And I'm not making fun of that. He hasn't been right.
He's never been right.
No, he's never been right. But ever since he's had the vid, he's been really not right. You know, so
Sounds like a blood clot or something.
something happened. Yeah. I mean, good Lord, he scratched his arm like 6 months ago and it ballooned up and he had to go to the ER he was in there, what, like 4 days?
Like,
Or
I'll just
something?
cut it off. Just cut the arm off. Be done with it. Come on, move on with your life.
Okay, everyone, we have a special guest on this evening. We have Charlie Kruel on the line with us. You're not in Pittsburgh, are you, Charlie?
No, I live in Indiana.
So we got Pittsburgh, Indiana, and Las Vegas on right now. Okay. I actually saw you a couple times at Angel Gate down here in Pittsburgh, so years ago. Do you remember Frank? Ego Frank or whatever. I can't remember what his wrestling name was. Frank Sebastianelli.
Frank Sebastian. He sounds familiar.
Okay. He went by the ring name Ego.
I only know Quinn.
Yeah. Big Jim.
Yeah, he at the time he trained Corey Graves.
Sterling. Yeah. Sterling.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then Jim. And we don't talk about him.
Who, Big Jim? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a falling out between him and Quinn, who's also his son-in-law, I think.
Oh, I didn't know that. So
Yeah, I think so. That's what I was told. And they had a falling out, and then Angel Gate kind of stopped running. And he tried to book me a few times, but I told him, no, I'm not interested in going back. I'm not interested in working for him for, reasons, but yeah, my time to Angel Gate, like I miss it. Like oh my God, the arena was so cool. The ring was so nice. Like it sucks that like there was a falling out and all that happened, but it happens. But I do miss Angel Gate. It was a really good experience. I was only there twice, but it was really fun both times. So.
For those of you that don't know, Angel Gate Wrestling was a brand of the PWX Wrestling organization out in the Pittsburgh area. They ran out of McKeesport, Pennsylvania. And I have been to a few Angel Gate wrestling events when they were running. And Logan and Jenny, it was a full women's wrestling organization.
Oh.
And that's where I was familiar. I actually saw Charlie. Charlie, I don't know if you know Lady Frost.
Oh yeah, I love Lady Frost.
Yeah, and a couple other, and so on and so forth. That's where I was introduced, not personally introduced, but introduced to the characters in the wrestling world of, and it was a great organization. It's just a shame that there had to be that falling out.
Okay, I'm going to get into something here, and I hope we can all have a discussion about it. I know the fans are normally at home, like to listen to us banter and have a joke, but I want to turn it to a serious note for a second, okay? So we all know that our favorite superstars appear larger than life on the TV screen. But I want to get real with this, and I want to talk about something that we normally put on the wayside, and that's mental health, especially mental health in the wrestling business. Now, our heroes are often too overlooked on this because we think fame and fortune must equal happiness. But as with real life, that's not always the case. Big names in recent years have come forward to share their stories, names like Bray Wyatt, Sasha Banks, even Braun Strowman. These are not, like I said, these are people that we normally disclude from these conversations because we think everything is all well. Now, how does this happen? Well, it can come in many forms. You've got it, whether it's recovering from an injury to get back from where you were, having a bad match, people critiquing your art form, or it may have been something that you've had prior to being in the business. We know these things don't just get turned on and off. So what I want to talk about tonight, again, is mental health in wrestling. I hope she can tell us her story and maybe give us a viewpoint on the situation. Thank you very much for being with us, Charlie. Charlie's a long-term wrestler. So she knows all about the business. She's been out there slamming people around since what, 2017, Charlie?
More I think more 2018 was when I started. I managed in starting 2017, but I didn't start slamming people till like 2018.
That's the good years then.
And the
2018, when he gets to violently hurt people.
And the Pop-Tarts didn't come till 2020.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
I want to get into the Pop-Tarts later. But Charlie, first of all, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm a little beat up. I wrestled Mickey Knuckles last night, and I don't know if you guys can see that or not.
Yes.
But I definitely got color. So my head kind of hurts, but we're good.
Now, you've talked before with us about having mental health issues in real life. How does that affect you when you're going out there? Can you tell us a bit about that?
So funny because literally I was having like a mental moment before I even wrestled yesterday. I was talking to my friend Isaiah Moore about this before the show, even before the doors were open or anything. I was just telling him like how much life is really hitting me and how much I'm struggling mentally right now and dealing with like everyday issues, like not wanting to wake up sometimes is like a big issue. One thing that really helps me besides wrestling is that I do have a kitten. Here, come here, baby. This is her.
Oh,
and she helps me with mental illness a lot. So
I'm a cat man. I've got 4 cats, and I love my black cat, my Willow, like she's my own kid. I tell you, and she's always there for me when I need her. She's a good kitty. She really is. Now, tell me about it. When you walk out into that ring, how do you go from, I'm maybe worried about tonight. I've got these stresses in my real life. How do you turn that off before you get into the ring? Or is it something that's with you in the ring as well? Something that, you wrestle with while you're wrestling someone else?
No, it turns off when I get in there. Like right when my music hits and I get into the zone and stuff, like all the pain, everything I'm dealing with just goes away, because like when I'm in that ring, I'm in front of those people and I'm doing what I love. Like nothing else matters at that moment. Like all the demons that like beat me up inside, like none of those, like they all go away. It's the reality of before and after the matches, not during the matches. Um, it's struggling. I have attempted suicide in the past. The earliest time was high school. I wasn't really bullied necessarily. I was more of just a loner in school, and I didn't really have like friends. Like I had a few here and there, but like I was always alone. I'd sit at the lunch table by myself and like all of this, and I don't know, but wrestling has always been an escape of mine. It's always been there for me. It's always helped me. Like I was telling Isaiah when I was talking to him before the doors even opened, we were just sitting in the seats and just talking about like what I'm going through and how much like I beat myself up, like how much I'm so nervous to wrestle sometimes because like I don't know what's going to happen. Am I going to be 100% or am I going to be like 50%? You know what I mean? Like I need to be 100% like all the time. And that beats me up inside because like if I, like you were mentioning, like sometimes people have bad matches or something doesn't go right in a match. You beat yourself up because like you wish that it could have been better, but I'm always told that wrestling is like art, like wrestling is live and you're going to make mistakes. You can't take it back. It's not like during the pandemic when they had all those shows and you could like, if you made a mistake, all you had to do was just start over. So it wasn't like that. When you're out there and you're live, like mistakes happen and sometimes you have bad matches and sometimes you have really good matches. Like last night I had a really good match, maybe last week, I'm just making an example, like last week, let's say I didn't have a good match, but then I had a good match last night and that makes me feel really good,
So I like how you said, I just want to make sure I understand this, is when you walk through that curtain and you get into that ring, you look at that as your safe zone.
Yes.
Right. Okay. And then it seems like what you're saying is you own the world when you're in your safe zone. Nothing can happen.
Nothing can
because
hurt.
you're in control of what's going on at that. Nothing can hurt you. You're in control of what's going on at that time.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just trying to understand here. That's all.
Yeah. I mean,
No, you're fine.
Yeah.
I guess in the end, we all have to find some way to have a safe zone. Otherwise, what do you do? There's despair, and then there's, what's under that, basically. The weird thing is, a lot of people know me on the show. I play the color commentator on the show here, and I'm funny, or at least I try to be. I think I am, but I use a lot of humor and things like that to kind of cover up my anxieties towards things. And I suffer from depression as well. And the irony is, you saying, wrestling is, something that you always go to. It's the same thing with me. Like literally, I know for about 4 hours a month, JD will come around my house and we'll watch a pay-per-view. And for those 4 hours, I am just blissfully happy because I get to spend it with this arsehole. But
Thanks.
It's more that it's my love of wrestling and it goes along with my love of critiquing wrestling as well. And to get to share that with a friend as well is, kind of the kind of my safe space that I go to.
Well,
It's not as grandiose as yours, unfortunately. I don't get to get in a wrestling ring, though. I'm
well,
probably
that
way
goes,
too old
Logan.
and way too fat to get into one these days.
Well, that goes, Logan. That how many times over the past years that you've been a part of this program? Oh, please, can we do the show tonight? Because that's my escape from reality.
Yeah.
For the hour that we do this or whatever.
Yep. We get to talk about wrestling and whatever else is on our minds,
or whatever.
Kind of, leave the world behind, kind of thing. And I still suffer from it daily. I mean, regardless. I mean, I have a great doctor. Medications, but that can only get you so far. You need something to, feel like you're in control of to be safe somewhere. And I totally get that. I think in just the scale of what you can do with it once you're in that ring, not only do you get to be safe out there, but you give great entertainment to those people watching. So you get to give back as well. All I've got is a podcast and Jeremy to whine to, and that's pretty much about it. But you get to give back using your art, and great that you get to turn it off for that time when you're in the ring. And I would say it's awesome.
Very much so, yeah.
Is it like when you're in the ring and you said you can turn it off, does it feel like you become a different persona or like a different person outside of yourself? Is that how you can turn it off, or just because you love to be in the wrestling ring, so then everything else stops?
It's kind of both. Like when I'm in the ring and like nothing else matters, like I'm a different person. Like I'm either going to be Charlie Kruel, or like last night I was Hardcore Charles. I'm a different person. Like that's not me. And then afterwards, like I come back into this reality world, with my cat and, just living my life. But yeah, so it's just like, I also love wrestling and I just love the ring. I love being in there, to do anything. It's like, it's a whole escape. It's my home, it's like another home, like away from home.
There was things where in the past, you'd hear Hulk Hogan say that same thing, where no matter what was going on in his life, that once I got in that ring, it was, you're in my world. No one can touch me. And I am in control of, he felt like he would say he felt like he was in control of the whole earth, so I can't say I get it, but because I've never been I've been in a wrestling ring, but I've never been a wrestler, but I want to say I get it. I mean, I've been in different situations where, oh, if I can only be doing this, I'm in my own world for a little while. You get what I'm saying? And I'm kind of in control of it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Did anyone see Bray Wyatt's comeback on SmackDown last night?
I did not.
Did not.
You're the only one there, King.
Yeah, I'm full of the wisdom today, I tell you. So it's funny because he came out to the ring and we expected an introduction to his new character, but instead he came down as Bray Wyatt and basically said, listen, I lost my career. I lost a couple of good friends of mine. I've had a really rough patch this last year. But it wasn't until I met my fans and my fans went, you really showed me, not to give up, and you gave me all this entertainment and so on and so forth. And he's like, that was therapeutic for him. So he thanked the fans for being back. And then they kind of turned it into an intro to his new character. But the interesting part was it was very much said from the heart. You could honestly tell that he was being sincere about what he was saying to the fans before they kind of cut it to the promo and everything. So it's like I said before at the beginning, people don't realize that, not only do regular people suffer from some form of mental illness, but, there are these wrestlers, there are these heroes out there that go through the same struggles. And I don't think it's talked enough, especially in the wrestling business where it's more male dominated, that's kind of a male thing of, you just kind of got to tough it out. You just kind of got to get on with it. So it's nice to hear that the guys are coming forward as well and saying, I have these problems. I'm trying to deal with it, so on and so forth. But to be more open about it, I think is where, you can really begin to, I'm not going to say cure it because, it doesn't really work that way, but, address it more so it is known more and more people can get the help that they need and not stigmatize it like it is normally.
Very much so, yeah.
See all these great pearls of wisdom tonight. I'm just throwing out. I tell you, it's crazy.
I think awareness is key. Like, unless people are aware that's going on, because if you're not someone who suffers from that, like, you can't understand it. Like, even like you don't know, it's like being a parent and not being a parent. Like, you don't know because you're not experiencing it. So you can try to explain it, but at the same time, it's really hard to put yourself in that position. So talking about it more does help bring awareness and help people understand who don't have who don't struggle with that or have experiences with that.
Yeah, I mean, my wife suffers from agoraphobia. I don't know if you know what that means. It's the fear of lots of people. Like, she does not like being in crowds of people, especially if it's like sitting down that she can't get away from or anything like that. But she works as a dental hygienist, and for her, it's the perfect job because she has her own little room. She sees one person at a time. She's in control of the whole situation. So for her, it's perfect. But, I always laughed about it years ago. And I was like, you're being stupid. Why don't you want to go to this party? Why don't you want to do that? Why don't you want to go out with our friends? And it was me just being uneducated about what she suffered from, basically. And, again, the whole male palaver of just tough it out and get over and done with it was how you viewed it. Mental illnesses were not for guys. You had one mental illness if you're a guy, and that basically meant you're a serial killer or something. That, everyone else should just tough it out. And I didn't realize until I suffered from my own forms of, anxiety and depression that, you can't explain it to someone. You can't just be like, oh, this is what it feels like, because it just doesn't work like that. And you get people saying like, oh, Charlie, why do you have a problem getting out of bed in the morning? It's such a great day. You have so much to live for. And all you can think is, please die. Just you don't know nothing. You don't know why I can't get out of the bed. You don't know what my issues are. But instead, you want to sit here and just tell me that because this works for you, it works for everyone. And that's not how mental issues work like that. And it's a shame that even with me now, like I said, it's a shame that I wasn't more educated earlier on so I could be there more for my wife, than what I was. And you feel a slight shame in it, because I was always just, you deal with it. You'll be fine. Deal with it. I did that to her, not knowing that, I was basically doing the opposite of what I should have been doing. So, it sucks looking back on it now. So, raising awareness for it is a big thing with me these days. I want people to know that it's not just, your average Joe that suffers from this. Is people from all walks of life. Let me ask you this. Have you ever been in a situation where you've been like, I'm in the ring, maybe I get hurt, or, what am I going to do then? Is that my wrestling career over? What are you going to kind of do it? Do you have those thoughts as well? I mean, is that something that you think about, or is it something that you just kind of sweep to the side and be like, I'm here to do what I love, end the story?
I mean, thoughts like that always go through the minds of like any in-ring performer, because accidents happen. I've been concussed before, injuries happen. I don't ever go out there thinking like, oh, what if this happens? Because if I think with the what ifs, I'm gonna be too scared to do something, and just instead of just doing it, like I know how to do.
So it's more of like living in the now. I'm here now doing it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm smoking here.
No, you're good.
Terrible. Don't ever smoke. It's a horrible thing. Don't do it. I'm looking at you, Jenny. Don't do it.
I don't.
Good
That
girl.
we know of.
Yeah.
Allegedly, I
She
do.
said, what you don't see is the cigar that she's holding down by the side of the chair. Yep. It was Gold Dust's girl.
Marlena Terry.
Marlena Terry. Yeah. Who always smoked cigars. This thing ever. Tell ya. Don't know if it was for the whole oral fixation crowd, but yeah, I thought it was so weird. She's got this gigantic stogie in her mouth, and you're like, what?
Hey, Logan, I'm gonna come up with a list of words for you to say in your English accent. That's for another show. Okay.
No, we're not doing this again. My wife makes
Not to
me
get
do
off
this
subject.
all the time. Say this word for my friend on the phone. Why? Just say it. There's nothing wrong with saying helicopter. It's a helicopter. See? There's nothing wrong. Helicopter. See? Or mosquito. What's wrong with that?
I like it.
Mosquito. That's all. My kids do it to me all the time, right, in public, and they're like, "Yeah, this is my dad. Dad, say mosquito." What? Just do it.
Okay.
Just do it. Mosquito.
Let me tell you something. I've known the Englishman here, Logan, for 20 years, 20 plus years now. We were college buddies. And the first time I met him, I went out to light up a smoke. And he's sitting out here. And I asked him for a light because, of course, I don't have a lighter. And me and him start having a conversation. And I forget what it was about, but he starts talking to me. I'm just sitting there shaking my head like, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, He gets done. And eventually I go, and it was like 6-7 seconds of pause there. And I went, all right, bro, I got to tell you, I didn't understand a word you said. Just write me a note next time.
He did.
Because his accent was a heck of a lot thicker 20 years ago than it is now. Okay.
We have to adapt it for the American market.
Yeah, funny stories about Logan. Now.
Yes, funny. There are too many.
Now, I mean, there's something I got to ask you, Charlie, and I think I brought this up at the beginning of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Why Pop-Tarts?
So, in 2020, this was literally right after I got like concussed and my gear had to be like cut off of me. So like that was the only gear I had. So I literally went to Hot Topic to find gear to go with until I got new ones. And so I was in a show in Tennessee. Is this crazy tag match that had me. I know the Gymnasty boys were in it. Dream Girl Ellie, her tag team partner Blanco, and then my tag team partners. So it was like an 8-person tag match. It was like crazy, but like it was fun. But I remember like randomly saying like stuff like because my character is like she's like a child. She's a kid. She thinks she is at least. And I randomly yell like, I like Pop-Tarts, I love Pop-Tarts. And like the audience just started cheering. She liked Pop-Tarts and like just doing all that. So I was like, it kind of clicked. It was like, maybe I should go with this. And it just started working. Like I started bringing Pop-Tarts to the ring and starting matches off with them. Like, offering it, giving it to fans. Kids love it, So yeah.
The only reason I asked is because I see your character now, how it's evolved. And I don't know if you remember that probably back in 2019. You were actually on this program for a quick minute before. I don't know if you remember that at all, but
I kind of do.
you
Yeah.
were talking about your mentor. And I apologize if I get this name wrong. Hiro Matsudi. I don't remember the name of it, but you were wearing this like zombie mask or something. I could be totally wrong. Matsuku. That's it.
Yes.
Yes. And that's the Charlie I remember. Hey, guys, if you want to look up some of her stuff from all those years ago, and it's a completely different Charlie than you see now coming out to the ring. Okay. Because I remember when I started seeing you I was like, wait a minute, she's the fun-loving, happy person giving me Pop-Tarts, walking out with boxes of Pop-Tarts, throwing them out to the crowd. And I was like, wait a minute. She used to walk out with like a bloody zombie mask talking about Hiro Masuku. Okay, saying how you're going to be in my corner, and this person, I'm going to draw the power, like the power of Grayscale, and I am just going to destroy you. So it's like a complete 180 from the last time I saw you.
I got Masuku's name from, it's a Japanese word for mask. It's pronounced Masuka, but in Japanese it means mask. So I was very creative with it, and I just like Masuku. I didn't want to have people already butcher the name enough, so like I didn't want to call him Massacre because I thought that was just going to be very massacre or something like that. So Masuku. I don't have Masuku anymore. Of course, I don't. I like starting 2021. Early 2021, I gave up Masuku, basically. I don't know where he's at anymore. I do know I had a dog. Me and my ex-boyfriend had a dog together. His name was Coda. He took him from my gear bag and destroyed him. So that was it. That was it. It's like I had to like Gorilla Glue like his like all back together, and it was crazy.
See, and then what's going to happen is like next year you're going to go to the ring to do some practicing, and the mask is just going to be sitting in the corner, just no explanation. He's just going to be sitting there, and it's time to bring the character back.
That, you know what, that could happen. That could definitely happen one day, you know, just if like all of a sudden Masuku comes back into Charlie's life and turns her back into being this monster or whatever you wanted to call her. Like I went by a few names. I started off being called the Beautiful Nightmare. That was before Masuku. When I started Masuku, I called myself the Maniac Serial Killer because I'm still really into serial killers for some reason. I like learning about them and stuff, so I just like kind of put that into my character. Then took the serial killer name off because people were like, why are you calling yourself a serial killer? You're not really going to murder anybody. And I was like, okay, that's true. So I just started calling myself the Maniac. And of course now, I don't go by that anymore. I go by the little firecracker, or, you know, the cutest, most ditziest little firecracker in professional wrestling is basically the moniker, what people say before, during the ring announcing and stuff.
You know, for a quick minute when I was bringing up that the Masuki name, I know I just said it wrong again. I right after I brought that up and you were looking at me like, huh? And I was just like, oh no, I just ruined your kayfabe. But
no, you're fine.
No, he does it to me all the time.
I do.
He ruins my kayfabe experience. Like,
this is great, Jenny. You got to hear this too. This is great.
I can't ever watch anything now where they go through the announcers table, because like we're watching something and somebody went through the announcers table and I was like, oh, and then he leads in and goes, you ever think about it when the table gets destroyed, the announcers and commentators, mics and everything still work? And I'm like, son of a bitch, why?
Yeah, that's true too. That, I mean, it does work still. I mean,
Well,
that's
what-
great.
what-
No.
Well, what's the other one about the
kayfabe?
cameras, Logan? I brought up to you, and you were like, "Yeah, I just ruined your childhood."
Yeah, it's like, yeah, if he goes, you know how to know if they're really hurt? No, the camera won't show them. Yeah, whatever. Jesus Christ.
Oh my.
Hated him for that. Just destroys my kayfabe, I tell you. Destroys it.
So Charlie, with getting into your wrestling career, where have you wrestled all over the country, or are you just in some like one part of the country at all? So have you been all over or international or?
I try to be all over. Obviously I get booked more in Indiana because I'm from here. So it's just easier to get bookings in my area. But I've been to New Jersey, Pennsylvania before, of course, you know that. Ohio, Kentucky, Wisconsin, all of this. Like I've been to a lot of places. There's still some states out there I want to get, like I want to go to California. I want to wrestle in Florida. I haven't got to, and like I want to make that my goal for next year to like knock out those 2 states at least. But I have a lot of goals, and 2 of them is wrestling in California and Florida because I would love to, like, I'm really into oceans, like ocean animals, and just the ocean is so beautiful. Like, it's so big that like 98% of the ocean has not been discovered. That's how big the ocean is. And it's like incredible to me. Like it's crazy. Like when I was back there, last time I was in New Jersey, well, the time before last year, I was going through a breakup, and I had to ride with my ex to the show. Right after the breakup. It was him and his 2 friends and myself. And I sat the entire 14 hours in that car, not saying a word.
Wow.
But you may know him, Akira. It was the boyfriend I had at the time. Well, ex-boyfriend. But anyways, I was dealing with that. So I went to the beach, and it was calming. Like just to hear the ocean, it's relaxing to me. So I just literally like didn't have a swimsuit. I didn't care. I literally had my clothes on, and I went and I took a dip in the ocean. I love it. It's just beautiful. So Florida and California has those, so I definitely want to go there.
You should try getting into the state of Nevada to wrestle.
That'd be cool.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, Jenny. Don't get mad at me.
No.
You guys have got the seas of desert sand.
Yeah.
So it's an ocean of sand.
Yeah, we don't have any water. We're having a water shortage.
Well, yeah. How do you have a water shortage? Okay, hold on there, Charlie. How do you have a water shortage, Jenny, when like a month ago you were having floods, that the casinos were flooding and it was like drenching people playing the slots? Now you have a water shortage.
You look at like Lake Mead. It's from like 20 years ago, and now it's
Lake Mead.
Not even. Yeah, that's like our main water supply source.
Well, the messed up thing is Lake Mead, as I've seen on the news, is getting so like low that all of these like boats that sank over the last 30 years are coming. You could see they're finding bodies now in Lake Mead. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
No.
Oh yeah. It's like a big thing. Yeah.
I'm waiting for the pirate ship to come up.
Yeah. But no, the reason I said Nevada, and Jenny's probably going to slap me for this, is Jenny Santana is actually GM of the Ultimate Women's of Wrestling organization there in Las Vegas. So,
I've heard
you have? Oh, see, look at that. Look, you're international now. Or you're whole national, not international. What am I talking about? But
you're national. There you
meanwhile, they have a show coming up December 9th. The Mirage, House of Blues.
Keep on popping it.
So, for those of you that listen to this show and they're fans of ours, we do like to make, joke around a lot and have fun, but the events that we're discussing tonight is no laughing matter.
Mm-hmm.
And, what we can do to bring awareness to it and just to make light of it is, hey, that's why we're here. Isn't that right, Logan?
Yes, indeed. And we're going to have a couple of links at the Ring the Bell radio page, and we're from up on our Facebook as well. If you need help, don't be afraid to reach out. There's always somebody at one of these phone numbers and links that we're going to give you, someone to talk to. Don't be afraid to, get out there and seek the help you need. There's no shame in it, and we wish you all the best. And Charlie,
That's wonderful.
Charlie, thanks so much for being on tonight again. I really appreciate it.
Of course, if wrestling, when I retire from wrestling or quit or whatever, or something happens, I would like to become a therapist for teens and kids and even adults, just somebody to be there for people to talk to.
You could listen to us on ringthebellradio.com. Listen to all of our shows there. Or you can listen to us on Spotify or on your favorite podcasting platform. If you have any emails to send us, specifically hate mail, address it to Logan, ringthebellradio@gmail.com. Yes, Charlie, believe it or not, we do get a lot of hate mail.
Wow.
Some of it's nuts, but we get
some of it's nuts. We'll tell you that off the air. You can follow us on the Twitter, the Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and all that happy stuff. Pretty much any social media platform you can get to.
And now listen to us on Apple, on what?
Amazon Music. Oh yeah, we have been invited to put our podcast on Amazon Music and Audible, so we are available there now. Those are the two brand new podcast platforms that we are on now. So yay, and all that happy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So for Jenny Santana, all the way over there in Las Vegas. Well, they can't see you waving. They have to say bye.
Bye, everyone. Thank you for listening.
Yes. For King Logan over there, and thank you again to Charlie Kruel. She was just great to have on. I'm JD, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.